President of CSEU UK Unions, Tony Burke. Thanks for joining us today.
I'm very pleased to be with you.
Thank you, dear Tony. As you know, on May 14, there are presidential and parliamentary elections in Turkey. So, how do you evaluate the practice of the current Erdogan and AKP government? How would you comment on the current government practice?
Well, that is a very good question because it's something I've just been giving consideration to because I'm looking to write some blogs and articles on this in the next few weeks in the run up to the election. Situation as far as the unions in Great Britain can see is that it's time for a change in Turkey. The current government has been repressive. It's attacked trade unions. It has used extreme measures against trade unions. It's undemocratic. It doesn't consult with trade unions. It doesn't really represent workers. And in fact, like a lot of the governments around the world who have the phrase a strong man as the leader, they've become more undemocratic and more interested in their own ends, not the ends and the needs of working people, particularly those in work and finding it very difficult to make ends meet. So we support the efforts for change. We support the comrades in Turkey who are campaigning for change, and we will be watching very, very clearly once the election is on as to what actually happens. As we know, if there is a popular view support for a change of government, there always is the chance that a strongman leader may decide to try to ignore the election result. But I do believe, and trade unions in the UK and your friends and comrades believe, that there is time for a change.
Thank you, dear Tony. Also, I would like to ask you a question about democracy in Turkey. You have been in Turkey in HDP's Congress once, I remember. So, due to the risk of the HDP being shut down, it enters the elections with the Green Left Party now. So, in this situation, do you think the Turkey's 2023 elections will be held in a democratic environment very shortly?
Well, we can only hope that there'll be a democratic election. And yes, you're correct. I was at your Congress, HDP Congress, last year, very proud to be there. And I've got some good friends and comrades in your organization, and we follow you very, very closely. Not only in Unite and the UK unions, but in the Labour Party as well. So I think that having been at the Congress and listened to the debate and talked to people who were there throughout the day and into the evening, I think the idea of having a coalition is probably the most sensible one, because without that, it means that HDP could be on its own. It could be very, very vulnerable. So I think that it's something that we recognise you've had to do. It's not necessarily something that UK Labour Party would have to do, but certainly in your own instance, I believe it's important that you get as much support as you possibly can and get as much protection as you can to make sure that nothing undemocratic happens. And hopefully we will get this change of government that is needed in Turkey following the election on May the 14th.
Thank you. How important is the success of the Green Left Party, which has the support of the HDP and the Kurdish people both in Turkey and in Europe as well? How do you think is important that the Green Left Party's first election to have success?
I think it's very important. I think that there needs to be, as I've said, there needs to be change for the benefit of working people. And any way that you can do this in a coalition is important to try. It could be difficult. We don't know. We don't know what the current government will do, how it will react. how it will react, not just to any vote that throws it out of power, but also during the election and the election process. As we've seen elsewhere, there could be a lot of pressure on people. It's not beyond the current government's leadership to try to cling on to power, irrespective of how people feel. But I do believe that it is time for change, and it is time for Turkey to move in a different direction, because I can only see more time with this current government in power not being beneficial to working people and not being beneficial to the many causes that we support in Turkey, the causes of the Kurds, of women in Turkey, and of course, as you'll appreciate, of trade unions as well.
Thank you. Lastly, what is your message of support to HDP and Green Left Party?
As you would expect, our trade unions in the UK support you. We expressed that support from the Labour Party as well when we came to Turkey last year for the special conference. We made some good friends and some good comrades. And we watch with horror at times the way that trade unions and working people are treated in Turkey by the current government. So we say solidarity. We say send you all of our best wishes and support for a successful outcome in the election, and hope that when the result is declared, it's fair and understood, and that your coalition gets into power and changes the lives of working people for the good.
President of CSEU UK Unions, Tony Burke, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your valuable comments today.
Okay, and thank you very much, Jeremy.